I want you to know that the sun, it's so bright, like this. Ah.
You look great.
Thank you. You look great.
We're gonna jump right into it, Jordan.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
5, 6, 7, 8. We got Big Theater Kid Energy.
Welcome to Big Theater Kid Energy. I am your host, Ryan Garcia. This is the show where I go around and see theater in Los Angeles, proving that LA is a theater town. But also, I'm a liar. And I went to New York to see a couple shows. I saw Bull Durham with Nick Walker. You heard that one. And I also saw Romy and Michele, the musical, with the star of stage and screen, Jordan Kai Burnett, who was up there playing Heather. Jordan, you're here with me now. This is a Zoom episode because you're in New York.
I am. It is where I am. I'm in New York because it's where I am.
That is where you are, and it is where you live.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
You're on the Upper East Side. You're looking cool. You're
I mean,
looking
technically,
cute.
I'm in Harlem, Upper East Side adjacent. I really just say I live on the east side of the park.
I'm an LA boy. I don't know how these things work.
You drinking your sparkles and me drinking this like child's water bottle that I've covered in stickers feels very appropriate.
Well, it matches our background. Your background has things hanging on
Yeah,
doorways.
it's
There's
true.
boxes. There's bags. My background has silly purple lights and salt lamps.
And that jacket that you got from that theater sale.
That theater sale from a children's theater.
Oh, what a good day that was for you.
I think that was meant for a child, and yet my
Here
body
you are.
said this fits.
Yes. Hmm.
So I was just thinking before we got on here of a new segment, and it's called Word Association of the show we just saw. So we're
Right.
just going to go back and forth and say words or short phrases that we think after having seen that show. I'll start. Glitter.
Wigs.
What'd you say?
Wigs?
Wigs. 90s pop.
Friendship.
Ooh. Identity.
Sour candy.
Dance. Choreo. Standing ovation.
Wow, that's a good one. Costumery.
Abs.
Abs. Quick changes.
Honestly, honestly, we're gonna get into all of that.
I can't
But
wait.
Romy Michele, the musical, it's playing at stage 42 right now. When does it actually open?
Monday the 27th.
Monday the 27th, and it runs through?
Or open-ended.
Go see the
Yeah,
show because
yeah,
you
the
don't know
idea is
when your chance will
the
be
idea
to
is
see
that
it.
like hopefully we'll be
Ever.
running for a long time. You know, it's a crazy time to do new theater. So it's and to not be a limited engagement, but it's like a show that just wants to hopefully sit in New York City so that the people can find joy when they are feeling awful about the world.
Oh my God. And this show is so joyful and it's so participatory where because it is a based on the movie that has such a cult following, the audience is so in and so on board and it has so much fan service built into that that if like you
Oh,
are ready for a good time, go
yeah.
see Romeo and Michelle the musical.
And, and I'll tell you what, my friend in the cast, Nina, said the most important cast member that we don't talk about is the audience.
Wow. Yeah, and that was
Because
very true the night that I was there.
And I think that has remained true. I think this is the kind of show that, like, if you come in and you're like, I really want this to be Les Mis, you're gonna feel really disappointed.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but if you come in like, I'd love to not think about how awful things are for 2 hours and just have a giggle, you're gonna find yourself, the show moves really fast, and you're gonna find yourself being like, oh, I didn't think about my problems for 2 hours.
Look, there's so many things I want to talk about in this show and you as well in this show, but we don't have time.
Right.
We're not at that time yet. That's not where we
Okay.
are.
We're not
Okay?
there yet.
We're
Talk to
not
me in the
we'll
future.
we'll get there. Hey, future Jordan, be ready. But current Jordan, let's talk about you.
Okay, hi.
Hi, Jordan. Jordan Kai Burnett and I met in a way where it felt like we always knew each other.
Correct.
But the day that we met was working on a musical called Found in downtown Los Angeles with I Am a Theater Company. And everyone told us that, oh, you two are going to be best friends. And all of them were correct.
They were right. I will also say I think Found is a perfect show for this podcast. This would have Found would have been a
Mm.
perfect show for this podcast because it was like people from New York, people from California, people from everywhere, a director from New York, a choreographer from California, a music director from New York. It was like this unbelievable amalgamation of humans making a new version of a musical that had sort of existed. But I know that our director came on board because he was like, you have to let me treat this like a new musical. And
Hmm.
they said, yeah, if he was like, in order for me to do that, that's really important to me. And they did. So it felt like this amalgamation of all these different kinds of experiences. And that show was so, I'm sorry, great. It was such an incredible musical. And the fact that it was in LA for me, like exactly what your podcast does, it felt like this pinnacle of like, you seem to think that we can't do it here. But in fact, we're doing it in a way that is special.
Yeah. When it comes to special brand new musicals and shows, you are no stranger.
I am not. And in fact, I would be whatever the opposite of a stranger is.
Yeah, best
Family.
friend.
Best
Family.
friend.
Well,
Best
chosen
friend.
family, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely not blood family, but for sure chosen
It's like,
family.
I'll tell you what, a lot of people are strangers with their blood family. Just like
100%. But for
never
sure, my
actually get to
chosen
know.
family, no question.
I know my chosen family to the depths of their soul.
Within an inch of their veins.
And
Yep.
sometimes you're inside of them. The veins,
The veins.
relax.
Sickos.
You have been a part of this show for a long time,
I
uh,
have.
playing Heather. You were in Scissorhands, the musical, which is a new musical, playing Edward Scissorhands, no less.
That's true.
Gene and Gilda, where you play Gilda Radner, is a new show.
That's a play.
That's a play. That's why I said new shows and
Oh, show.
musicals.
Oh, you did a good job. You did a good job.
I'm I'm
Yeah.
jo- I'm I'm covering my bases.
I
Also,
just want the people to know how versatile I am, that
you're
I can
so
speak without singing.
talk about versatility. The MC in Magic Mike Live forever in Las Vegas, and then
Truth.
Denise, right? That's who you played.
I did.
Yeah, I'll never forget because it's my mom's name in
It is.
Found,
Yeah.
and one that I'm very excited about. I believe Benvolio in the Pat Benatar Romeo and Juliet,
Yes, in fact.
which we both
All
did
of
a
those.
reading of.
Oh, Ryan, you were so good in it.
So were
You
you.
were everybody's, thank you, but you were everybody's favorite part.
That's not what this is about. It's about how
Doesn't mean you don't like to hear it. Doesn't mean you don't like to hear it.
you're it doesn't mean I don't like to hear it. But I have to act like, oh, I can't, I don't take,
Oh,
I'm
I'm
so
embarrassed.
humble. I couldn't
Yeah.
possibly hear positive
Mhm.
reviews about myself.
That's right.
But you're part of so many brand new things, and I think that that's like such a wonderful endeavor. Can you speak on like what it's like to originate a lot of characters, to have this place where it's like things are changing, thrown. It's not like you were saying, even as an example for Les Mis. When you go into Les Mis, it's like people have an expectation of what this is, and
That's right.
you have to meet that expectation before you even try to do something new with it. But when it's something brand new, you get to put your fingerprint, your mark, your take really on it, not only in your performance of it, but you get to have input on what you actually say and do.
I got to tell you, when I went off to college, I was what I call a 32 bars and a jewel tone dress. Does that make sense to you, Ryan, or should I explain that?
I think you got to go a little deeper for me. I love the phrase, but I don't
So
think I get it.
I'll explain it to you. So when I went to college, 32 bars in a jewel tone dress was this is the way that I describe this very certain type of musical theater girl. I mean, can you imagine me calling myself a girl? That's crazy in and of itself. But like, hi, I'm Jordan and I'm wearing a navy blue dress and I'm
Mm.
singing 32 bars of the trolley song from Meet Me
Ah,
in St.
yes.
Louis. That's who I was for the first chunk of my life. I was going to do this very specific thing. I was going to go to New York and I was going to do this and do this and do this and do this. And then when I was like in my mid 20s, I called an audible and I moved to Los Angeles, for a boy and also because I wanted to do comedy and I had never really explored that. And also I thought it'd be really good for me to not be driving distance from my mother. And I was able to actually really figure out who I am without the sort of musical theater checked boxes I had been trying to check off for so long. Even the second year that I was in LA, I joined this company called A&MT, something for New Musical Theater
Mhm.
Association, something where we would develop new musicals in North Hollywood.
Mm.
And they would pay me to come in and read new musicals like once a week. I was like, I love this. Like, there are plenty of parts I want to play. There's plenty of musicals that are written that I want to do, but there is really something about knowing that the things that I'm saying in rehearsal, the things that I'm doing in rehearsal are going to end up in the stage directions when this script gets printed and
Right.
licensed. For example, Heartbreaker, the Romeo and Juliet musical, I started as Benvolia, and over the course of the time that I was doing that show, I came out, I started using the pronouns that felt right for me, and with that, the show changed. it changed with me and I changed with it and it helped me figure myself out and also I helped it figure itself out. So now this character is this like queer gender fluid monster, like rock and roll monster
Yeah.
that I'm
That's what I call
very,
you, by the way, a queer gender fluid rock and roll monster.
to be honest, put it on my grave. But I think like there's something about that and knowing that like now when I do this, when we do the reading of it, it feels like so much of me is in it. And that is like so cool.
I mean, you talk so much about like how cool it is to help formulate something for a new show, but also the power of being an actor and a performer, where not only are you having like some kind of power over changing the art has a power over changing you, which I think
Yeah.
is the whole reason many actors never retire because we are constantly exploring. It's like, okay, well, my type has changed because I have grown and become a new human being
Yeah.
every few years, or even
Yeah.
sometimes like it can happen over a month that you really discover something about yourself, and then there's new things to explore. It's not like, well, now I'm done, I figured out acting, I figured out Ryan.
I grew up with this idea of like, what's my type? Okay, my type is I'm a soubrette. I'm the funny sidekick, or I'm the funny leading, like I'm the all these things that we are programmed with. And then I got to LA, and somebody said to me, I have no idea who it is, but thank you. They said, no, your type is who you are.
Hmm.
And I think that speaks to what you're saying is like I can change over time and like I can change who I am. And so the work will change
Right.
because I'm not going to do the same stuff I was, well, I am doing a lot of the same stuff I was doing 10 years ago because I have great skin. But in, but in a lot of other ways, there's things that I would never be in for now because the person I am now is really different than that person.
You are like, to me, I couldn't see anyone else in the world playing Heather but you,
Thanks.
in Romeo and Michelle. But if you, and I know that you also now, in a different way than you have before, are playing other roles as well within
I
that.
am.
At
Mhm.
times, you are a pretty maybe aloof cheerleader character. At times, you are a man with a beard in a diner. And I wonder if you could play any other role other than Heather of the leads, who would it
Yeah.
be?
You know, so funny. I was talking about this yesterday. I want to take one crack at Romy.
I think you'd be a great Romy.
I think I could take a crack at Romy. I think there's a world where you put me in that blonde wig and I could be a Romy. I don't think I am a Romy because in my heart I'm a Heather, but like I would say if they were doing one night only, you can play whoever you want. I would be like, I'm doing it. I'm playing Romy.
Nobody would ever cast me as this, but I think if I got a shot to be in that show, I would beg to be Toby.
I think you would be a great Toby.
That would be that. I know that like probably I'm more traditionally one of the other characters, but I would
Yeah,
love.
well, you would more traditionally be the hot guy. We know that. But
Thank you again. I'm not
100%.
asking for any of these. I'm not
I know you're not.
asking for
But
any of
I
these.
do think I know that when I think about you, there's a part that part that I mean, this was the solidifier of our friendship. Ryan, you played that part in Found where you played that naughty little boy.
Patrick.
He put
Oh no, the naughty
Patrick. He
boy.
no
No, the naughty
Rad,
boy.
the
Yeah,
naughty
yeah,
boy,
Raph.
Rad, and you were running around the theater like an 8-year-old child.
Yeah,
And if you hadn't had a full grown man's beard,
yeah.
nothing would have told me you were not an evil 8-year-old child. And I love that energy about you. And I think it's a great thing that Try Guys lets you get to do. But I wish that people would cast you. You're very traditionally handsome, get over it. But I do wish people would see you as the naughty, evil little boy more often because you're so funny.
Thank
And
you.
so in that way, I think your Toby would have a lot of that energy.
See, that's I think my dream. Okay, two questions about
Yes.
Jordan before then we
Yeah.
get into talking more about Romy and Michelle. Where do you just like to sit in a theater?
There are two places I like to sit. 10th row center in the orchestra or front row in the mezz.
That's it. Those are the only options.
It's actually, for me, that's true. At this point in my life, I've spent enough time with my knees in my chin and not being able to see from the back of the house. Here's the thing. It is so expensive to go to the theater now that
Yeah,
if I'm going to the theater, I want to see everything, but I don't have that financial liquidity to do that. So if
yeah.
I'm going to go, I'm sitting somewhere really cute and hopefully I'm going for free.
Between fifth and tenth row
Hmm.
in the orchestra is just
Yeah.
like and center. Like I just want to be able to see faces,
Yeah.
but also see stage picture.
I also sometimes love to sit. I will say, like, if I'm 10th row on the aisle, I don't mind that.
Oh
As
sure.
long as I'm in, yeah, I don't mind on the aisle because I am known to. see what the finale number is. Like if it's a show I don't know, I'll see what the finale number is called.
Yeah,
And as soon as the lights go out, before anyone has had a chance to
right.
realize it's intermission, I'm at the bathroom already.
Right.
I am
Smart.
up and out. If you come to the theater with me and you don't put me on the aisle, you are getting kicked because I am going
Yeah.
so
So the
fast
note for all our small bladder audience members, the best place for you to sit
on the
is
aisle.
fifth to 10th row on the aisle. You still get a great view of everything, and you're the
Yeah.
first to concessions and first to bathroom.
Yeah. I mean, I always go to the
Also,
bathroom
also,
first
if
because
that theater has those like pre-order at the
yeah,
like when
you
you
have
come
to.
in for intermission, do the pre-order. Do the pre-order,
Yeah.
walk out, your little drink and snack is there. Boom, you already finished with the bathroom, you're back in your seat, you're having the
Yeah.
best time. Have the best time. I also like when I'm watching a show and sitting there wherever I'm sitting, I like to imagine, I wonder where the director was sitting. And sometimes you can tell a director that like moved around while blocking
You
a
have to hope
show
so.
and they're sitting all
You
over
have
the
to
place,
hope
but
so.
sometimes a director just has one seat and you can tell, oh, I can see exactly where this director sat in
Yeah, I
blocking
think
this show.
that's not my favorite.
Let's talk about Romy and Michele, the musical. First
That
off,
was very nice singing, by the way. Go ahead.
gosh, I can't stop. My ego, it's getting too big. This show is happening right now at Stage 42, which is an off-Broadway house, which I think may be the largest off-Broadway theater at 499 seats, which is the exact cutoff before
Uh-huh.
it becomes Broadway.
It's 2 seats short of Broadway, is what I've been told. I don't know if
Wow.
that's true.
Maybe it has to be at 501. It has to be over 500.
I think maybe it does.
And that's so smart and so cool. And what an incredible place to do a show where you're really getting like Broadway size audiences.
Yeah, and the cast is like, 7/8 of the cast have like very big Broadway careers. So
Yeah.
it is a massively experienced, wildly talented group of people. It is a Broadway show that happens to be 2 seats short of a Broadway house.
And this was directed by Kristen Hange. The book is by Robin Schiff, the writer of Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion and the writer of the sequel of Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion, which is
I know.
in pre-production
I've heard
now.
that. I know. I gotta be honest. I'm really hoping that they put me in that movie.
They better put you in that movie.
Who would I play? I don't care.
I don't care.
I actually don't care. She's also a writer on Emily in Paris.
What?
She's a trendsetter for sure.
Wow, cool, Robin.
Yeah.
Music and lyrics by Gwendolyn Sanford and Brandon Jay.
Hmm.
And as you were talking about the cool, cool cast that you are up there spending some good time with, we got Laura Bell Bundy, holy crap, as Romy White, and Cara Lindsay as Michelle Weinberger. Can I just tell you, those two, for a moment, I actually had people behind me were very, very loud with their opinions because I was there for the first preview ever
Right.
of Romy and Michele, the musical. And people behind me were like, y'all are lucky because I sniped these tickets. Nobody said thank you to me, but I spent so much time waiting for these tickets and I got them for you. And I hope they're good. They better have that voice. I hope she sounds like Romy. All these expectations being thrown at it.
Yeah.
And then at intermission, they were like, I told you it'd be good. I told you they could do it. I told you it'd be so fantastic.
Great. I love
Laura Bell
that.
Bundy and Cara Lindsay carry this show so deftly. And while they're
Oh,
doing exact representations of Mira Sorvino and Lisa Kudrow, they're also making it so their own. It's so lived in. It's not a
yes.
caricature. It's not an
Yes.
impression. It is these because it's so important. Because I think one of the songs that like hit for me the most, and you'll tell me the name of it, but their real friendship song that they
The
sing in
coolest person I know.
The Coolest Person I Know. That song, it doesn't hit unless they are fully realized human beings.
100%.
And
They
it
have to be
hit.
real
It had me
people.
crying because this
Yeah.
show is ultimately about female friendship.
The show, I think, is ultimately about platonic friendship. I
Right.
mean, yes, female friendship, but I think it's like when I saw Frozen, the
Mm.
movie, I remember being like, oh, wow, this is a love story about sisters. We never get that. Romy and Michelle's a love story about friends.
Yeah, platonic friendship is a great way to put it.
Platonic friendship is just something we don't celebrate enough because at some point something happens or this or this or this. What about just two people that love each other so much in a non-romantic way? What a
Yeah.
great time.
And what an incredible cult movie. I've seen it multiple times, but I rewatched it again. And it just, how does it hold up?
You
It just
know,
holds up.
it does. It kind of
It's
does.
a
I think,
tone that's untouchable. The whole like dance sequence that takes place with Alan Cummings is just like, how is this in a movie?
how is this in a movie that like is a commercially made movie? It's like not
Yeah,
it's not an indie film, right? Like
right.
this movie is like one of those things that glorifies weirdness,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not in the same way as, like, for example, Edward Scissorhands, which glorifies weirdness, but ultimately in that film you don't get to celebrate your weirdness. And
Yeah.
in this movie, the weirdos win. Like, I'm having a chat with one of my dearest friends about what's going on with their child, and they're getting bullied at school because they're so cool, because
Right.
they love good music and they have great fashion and they're brilliant and funny, and they're getting bullied because it's not
They're not fitting the status
normal.
quo. Yeah.
Correct. And I said to them, I was like, you have to bring them to the show, because this show is about more than anything else, even maybe more than female friendships. It's about, like, how great it is when you back yourself.
There's something I just saw recently, and who knows if it's true or not, but this idea that like Gen Z is judging millennials because we're so cringe. And for me, like I had to get over a lot of my own fear of cringe and even
Yeah.
starting this podcast because there's like,
100.
God, it is cringy to start a podcast. It's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, you are doing it too. And also, but it's like, but celebrate the cringe. Like
But
nothing,
I also, I mean, that may be true, but I also think that Gen Z has this, I sort of have faith in them, because I think
totally.
that some part of them, that's so cringe, but in fact, like, we actually don't care what anyone else is doing. So you can be an absolute freak and we're
Yeah.
not actually going to judge you for it. You can just be exactly who you want to be all the time.
I want to be one of the freaks and the weirdos.
Me too. Well, you
Which
are, sorry to tell.
Thank you. Which is why I think that this musical is just such a success because and what the whole story of Romy Michele is so successful as it is. It's
Yeah.
like it really takes you on the journey of you're going to be afraid of your own freak flag.
Just being ourselves.
Yeah.
I also think it's, like, such a relatable feeling. Like, even as adults, sometimes I'm like, especially with, like, oh, I hate to say, especially with social media, but the idea of, like, comparing yourself all the
Yeah.
time, non-stop comparing yourself, and then all of a sudden you're like, why? Why am I doing this? I'm great.
Yeah. It used to be you compared yourself to the people in your own community and circle, and
Yeah,
then there was the person who was the greatest at something in your circle, but then now
yeah,
you're comparing yourself to the greatest in the world at that
yeah,
thing in social
yeah.
media. I also got to talk about there's a few things. One in previous iterations of this, you only were Heather.
I've been doing the show for 10 years. Every single iteration of it until now, I have only played Heather.
What's your big song as Heather? It's so nice having someone who's in the show as my guest because I don't have to do the research. You just be like, "What's the
It's
name of that
called,
song?" Also,
it's called,
can we just honor that it's a real
oh, oh, but
playbill?
say what you said to me. That was your first
This is my first New York
real New
playbill.
York playbill, and
This
my
is my
name is in
first.
it, which is so cool. That
And
song is called Love Is.
I'm gonna have to send it to you because I never got you to sign it. So I'm gonna have to mail it to you
I told you I would sign it for you, and actually, what you said was, I don't want you to sully it, is what you said in the subway station at Times Square,
Well, I've
is
changed
what
my
you
mind.
said.
I've changed my
Well,
mind.
great. We'll
I
see.
was wrong.
Maybe I'll just send you one.
Maybe, and I'll frame it. Maybe I'll
Great.
frame it. I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe
you'll
I
put it
will.
in your cute
It'll be
next to the jacket.
back here with, Bull Durham and Les Mis and
Wow. You have Bull Durham there, you don't have mine?
because yours has not graduated yet from being in my hands.
Okay.
Once it's graduated from being in my hands for this interview, it will go
It'll go.
back there with the rest
Okay.
in a place of
I'll take
display.
it.
But I'll put it in a matted frame if you send me one. Um,
Deal.
but now you're playing so many characters, including the cheerleader character. What's
Yes.
her name?
So her name is Cheryl, and
Cheryl.
she is one of the mean girls in the A group that then comes back at the reunion 10 years later. It's not something I ever thought I would be doing in the middle of nowhere. Nonetheless, on stage in New York City in a
Right.
cheerleading outfit was not on my bingo card, but here we are.
And you kill as that character, and you have so many
Thank
fun
you.
scene-stealing moments.
I
But I
do. It's
think your
fun.
greatest side character scene-stealing moment for me was when we went into the diner,
Ugh,
and there was a mysterious bearded fellow
ugh.
sitting at the bar.
How quickly did you know?
Immediately. Immediately.
I
First of
want you to
all,
know
anytime you have a friend in a show, the first thing you do is you're constantly scanning the stage, being like, where are they?
to
What are
see
they
where they
doing?
are. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, two things about that. Number one, it's one song. And they told me I was a truck driver and I am a nuisance. So I said to the
Yep.
director, how do you feel about me wearing a full beard?
I knew it.
And she said, yeah, I really think you have to.
Yeah.
And I was already in this sort of, like, fishing trucker outfit. So then to put the beard on felt like we named him Steel, by the way. His name is Steel. And it elevated it in such a way that I was like, this is why I do this. Because if I because if I'm at work getting paid to play dress up, I'm gonna put a beard on because it's hilarious and it makes me laugh. And last night my parents came to the show and my dad texted me after and he said, I just want to be clear. You were the bearded guy in the diner, right? And I said, I sure was. And he said, yeah, I'd know my kid anywhere. But it definitely, he didn't know initially, which I
Right.
thought was great.
Because blood family is different than chosen family.
Then Chosen Family, and that's the name of the episode.
And Michael Thomas Grant in that
Ah,
same scene, who also was someone who only played the Alan Cumming character.
correct. For 10 years. We've been doing it again, another show that started in LA. The first workshop was at Rockwell Table and Stage, RIP,
R.I.P.
in 2015. It started in LA.
And
And Michael and I are the last two from from the original.
wow. And Michael's someone, first of all, and we talk about this, that I find so upsetting because of his talent
Ugh.
that it feels so, and I think it may be so effortless for him to sing like an angel.
He has this like Joe Cocker voice,
Right.
but he just kind of looks like this.
Right. He just like tips his head to the side and then a choir of
Angels.
angels comes out of his mouth.
We get to sing like one song together, but even in that one moment, we love it so much because like it's so
And
electric.
he's also, one that's not usually playing all these other
Oh yeah.
characters in
Yep.
all these scenes.
That's
And
right.
and both of you were the most insane, unhinged characters in that diner scene. I was like, wait, who did he like? Why is he so old?
Old.
He's falling apart at the seams. He's like
The
he is
skin is breaking.
his skin is
He's so
breaking.
old.
He's
And I think
shaking
it's the
so
same
much.
thing. I think that they said, okay, you're gonna play an old man in this scene. And he was like, well, if I'm getting paid to play dress up at work,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a really good time doing it. So I think that he just really leaned into it and it has become that scene is like for me the big caricature scene in the whole
It
show.
is. Well, and I think it's the
And
right
it
one
has
for
to
it because
be.
it's
Yeah.
it's the business
Businesswoman special.
businesswoman special. Whereas they really realize, oh, they have not put a lot of time or energy
Oh,
into their lie that they built for themselves. Just to speak, like Jay Sean Jackson as Toby was like just a brightness that filled my heart with joy in the way that Jay Sean was able to just the heart, like such a heart of
he's
that second
so
act.
good. Yeah, he's so there's and I don't want to say it, but there's this payoff at the end of the show.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it, but
No.
that payoff at the end of the show, every night the audience goes crazy and all of us on stage are like
And the
it's
musical
such a good
pays off in
payoff.
a different way than the movie, which is why, like,
100%.
if you love this movie, go see this because not only is it going to please all of your hopes and dreams of seeing what you saw on the screen realized on stage in this musical format, it's also the ending just blows it out of the water in a new
But
way.
yeah. Yeah, I think ultimately the thing that the show does that the movie didn't is that it really sticks the landing on that this is about two friends. That it's not about anyone else that comes into their life. They are okay, just the two of them. And
Yeah.
I think that for me is my favorite.
That's why this is my favorite.
Yeah,
You and me talking about this show is the only way this could have happened.
me too. Wait, I want to tell you something cool though before you tell me how great I am. I want to tell you that since you saw the show last week for first preview, the next morning, because I like to speak to this because I think it's cool, but like the next morning we cut two songs from Act One.
I'm part of the only audience that ever saw those two songs.
Correct. That will
Wow.
ever see those songs. So the show now just opens, the curtain goes up, and they're sitting on the couch.
Great.
It's great.
Honestly,
And
so
then there,
like anyway, I love tightening. That's amazing.
me too. So Act One is like a fast train. It's great.
Wow. This is a very special program
hmm
because the other ones were reprinted with new information.
I'm sure they were. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but I would assume,
Well,
in
then
case I don't have
I need you to
silverhead.
actually sign this one then.
Okay, I will.
That's going to be thank US Postal Service is going to help us in getting this.
Thanks, USPS.
Just one other person I like the whole cast is friggin' fabulous, but I can't talk about everybody. I guess I could. Lauren Zaccharin, oh my God, the most devious like it's surprising that there weren't actual devil horns coming out of her head.
Don't you want her to bully you?
I just want like it made me love the bully.
That's what I said to her. I said, people love to hate you because she's so good. She's so talented.
I don't even want her to
She's,
fail. When
no,
she's going, I'm like, yeah, get him, get him.
yeah. She is so beautiful. She is so talented. She's all of these things. But the way that she can encapsulate this mean girl, and by the way, she is the silliest, kindest,
Mm,
sweetest, most yummiest. But the way that she can encapsulate this manipulative mean girl
mm.
thing, I'm truly like, okay, bully me.
Yeah,
I'm begging you to bully me. I
seriously.
said the
Sign me
audience
up.
loves to hate her.
Loves.
It's so yummy to hate her.
The way that it just made her light up to take other people down actually brought me in. It was a very like not Regina George, very much like I am just on my own mission and it is
Hmm.
pleasing me and it is making me so
Oh,
excited to
yeah,
ruin
no.
these people.
And she doesn't get redeemed, which is interesting. But
Yeah.
I do think that like when you have these two imperfect characters like Romy and Michele that are just kind of like people. They're just people.
Yeah.
They're a little bit this or a little bit that. And you have somebody that just goes after them so hard. I don't know that everyone would agree with me, but I think there's something interesting about her not getting redeemed
Yeah.
because it does sort of feel like yummy justice.
I think it's also like of that era of movie. There wasn't
Hmm.
like we lived more in the black and white. We're not living in the now where, okay, well, even our evil characters have to have an arc where they come out on the other
Right.
end having learned or grown in some way. No, she
Right.
doesn't. Some people don't grow. This movie in the mid 90s, the movies then, like we don't necessarily need that, or we're celebrating that arc of the antagonist having a come to Jesus moment.
And I think like I feel very fortunate that Heather in the movie gets redeemed.
Yes.
You know, she has that great moment where she realizes that she was also a bully, even though she felt like she was being bullied. And I think that moment is beautiful. And we've actually made some adjustments to it since you've seen it that make it even more heartfelt.
Mm.
Still hilarious, but a little bit more like, okay, Heather, you're being a jerk.
But also, Heather is begging for a reason to be redeemed. You know,
Yes,
Heather
that's right.
is like, no, I don't have any reason to be redeemed because I was the bottom of the food chain, and so I
Right.
have every right to feel this way about everyone. And then to realize, no, actually,
Hmm.
I have been a bad guy is like, I do have
Everybody had
redemption in my arc.
everybody can be bullied and be a bully. It's
Yeah,
nuanced.
yeah. Yeah, I can't speak enough about how much fun this show was. One thing about this show is that I only ever see musicals or plays that either my friends are in or are at houses that I've already worked at because
Hmm.
they're inviting me for free. And
That's right.
so I'm not as exposed as I'd like to be. But I know that one of the conceits about musicals is that for the most part, the first act is good, the second act is not as good. And it's rare to have a musical where the second act is actually better than the first
Yeah,
act. And
it
now I
kills.
haven't seen the new first act that you all have, but the
Yeah,
second act here is so great
yeah.
that it makes
There,
it
I
somewhat
mean,
rarefied air for musicals.
yeah, I think that that's right. I think now Act One, we lost like 12 or 13 minutes on Act One. So
Wow.
Act One is like a steam train now. It's so fun. It's so fast. By the time you get to intermission, you're like, it's already intermission. And then Act Two comes in with like a perfect to finish it out.
And in this first preview that I
Hmm.
saw, that
Yes.
which by the way, I love seeing something that's still in like work mode, that
Yeah.
we're still figuring things out, that we could
Yeah.
stop, someone could yell line, we could have a
Hmm.
technical difficulty, which there was
Hmm.
technical difficulty for this in the sound system.
Yes, there
For
was. The show stopped once in these last few previews. Like last week, maybe fourth or fifth preview, there was a sound issue and they did have to stop the show. And the
wow,
audience was so on board
of
because
course.
people love to come to a preview because they love to see these things happen.
I want to see it. I want to see mistakes happen and figuring out how are we going to get through this, especially when it's
Yeah.
like some like one time that we stopped, but other times like you can't call cut, things are happening, move through it
Mm-hmm.
unless it's dangerous or it
Yep.
really is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But there was, I think that in this, and I don't know if it still happens in the one that I saw, I think maybe 10 times things fell on stage. Like people dropped
Sure.
a ring, people
Oh my
dropped
God.
a
That's right.
piece of paper, a soda cup went flying out of a car window,
Yep.
and had to get retrieved. And one thing that I love about you is that is that you there was a ring that fell on stage. A ring. We're talking about a massive stage and a tiny ring at the bottom, the very downstage
Had me
center.
in a chokehold.
And I, as an audience member, I'm just watching who's going to pick up that ring, who's going to pick up that ring, who's going to pick up that ring. And you, of course, come in maybe a song and a half later or a scene and a half later, and you
With a
make it
pregnant
work.
belly. Yeah.
A pregnant belly, and you make it work for your blocking to go over like, oh, and like a ring.
Fully holding my belly trying to imagine what it'd be like to be a pregnant woman bending over.
And then
I'm
Michael
insane.
Thomas Grant comes down on stage and kicks
Ah.
the front lip of this step off. And you go up those steps later, and I clock it perfectly. You look down at it, you wonder, can I fix that?
Fix this.
You
Uh-huh.
realize, no, I can't.
No
Shrug your
chance.
shoulders and continue.
That's right. That's right. That's correct.
But I loved the attempt.
Oh, you have to try.
Um,
You have to try to help your friends.
You have to. You have to be there for your friends. But I think that
Hmm.
like that's one of my favorite things is like, yeah, look, we got to honor our blocking, got to honor our choreography, we got to know where our light's going to be next, but also
Yeah.
if something falls or breaks, that's part of the world.
Last night I went on stage. So in Act Two, I have like 8 costume changes back to back.
Wow.
It's crazy. I have like 8 costume changes back to back
Wow.
from Heather into Heather Mooney, Janine Garofalo, into
Mhm.
Cheryl, the pregnant teenager, the pregnant cheerleader, who are they couldn't be more different. And I do a lipstick change and a costume change and a wig change, rapid fire. But last night I went on stage in my full Cheryl look, but accidentally left my black lipstick on. And my friend Erica, who I'm on stage with, goes, "Wow, Cheryl with a black lip." And I said, "What?" And she goes, "You didn't know?" And I said, "Of course not." So then I went like this.
You hid your lips.
Hmm. And I looked into the audience and I could see my director, Kristen Hangy, clock what had happened. And she started laughing. And I was like, and then we're all laughing because this thing has happened that is so silly, but like it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen sometimes. And they're kind of the best moments.
they're my
You
favorite
know, you're
moments.
like, they're the best. They're the best.
I really wanted to just talk about that friendship song. Um,
The coolest person I know.
the coolest person I know. It just really hit me. But
Mm.
it's because of everything that you all built on stage.
Oh, that's nice.
You know,
Yeah, I
everything
think
that you
that song
built, because
is.
it wasn't just because I think that's the thing is like it's such a sparkly, glittery, poppy, fun musical,
Hmm.
but the message is so clear, and it's not only is it like a poppy, fun musical, but it's also a fan service for a movie that everyone loves so dearly. But then
Hmm.
it also just has so much heart between these two lead characters that everyone on stage is facilitating, either in Lauren Zaccharin trying to tear it down or Heather calling it out with cynical logic. But
Hmm.
regardless, they cannot deny what is most true, which is that they love each other from beginning to end.
On the first day of rehearsal, Kristen said, "Do this show for your best friend."
Mm,
And I think everybody was sort of like, "Oh." Um, but there is something like over the last 10 years, there is something about that lyric. It's so simple, right? You're the coolest person I know, and I think you're great the way you are.
mm,
That just kind of hits every time. Like,
yeah.
that's how I feel about you, right? Like, I think it's a really special, simple idea, but it really lands.
And I hope that everyone has a Romy to their Michelle, a Michelle to their Romy,
Oh, yeah.
in their life. That person who's like, hey, I don't care what anybody else thinks. You are so fucking cool.
Do you think you're the Romy or the Michelle
Do I think I'm the Romy or the
with
Michelle?
us? Like,
No,
I
I
think it
get it. I knew
changes
the
dependent,
question.
but I
Yeah.
just want to say, like, I think it changes depending on the person. Like,
Yeah,
you
but
could be
between our dynamic
us. Yeah.
specifically,
Yeah.
in our dynamic, I think I'm the Michelle.
Yeah, 100% you're the
Okay, I'm
Michelle.
glad that we agree. I think you're the Romy.
Oh, 100% I am like, we're doing this bit. And you're like, "Ugh, okay, that is it.
Yeah,
That's
well,
our,
I know
that
it just seems kind
100%.
of like already overdone.
I
Like
guess we're
that's
doing it.
me.
Don't. I was thinking about Ryan and I like to do this Newsies bit where
Ugh,
I make him sing "Carrying the Banner" everywhere we go. And then there's another bit I've been trying to get Ryan to do the tortilla slap challenge
I don't
since
want
it
to
was cool
do it.
5 years
It's
ago.
already been done. No, you know what we're gonna do? I sent it to you. We're gonna do the
Mm,
wasabi in a little cone chip
in the
challenge.
cone. Yeah, we're
So the
gonna
little
do that.
cone chips are gonna be all over the table, and each of us are gonna stuff one with wasabi, and then the other
Uh-huh.
one's not gonna know which one it is. And then one at a
Yeah.
time, we're gonna eat those cone chips until someone gets
Yep.
a mouthful of wasabi.
It's really funny.
That one I'll do.
Great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're the Romy, I'm the Michelle, and I
N-
love it more than anything.
And I think you're great the way you are.
And I think you're the coolest person I know.
I am. Other than your wife, but yeah.
Oh, well, there's no one cooler than her. That's unfair.
She's so cool.
She's outside this dynamic.
Yeah, she's way above her. We're punching up.
Her friends have asked her why hasn't she been on the podcast yet?
She's too cool for this
And I said
podcast.
she's too cool.
You can't afford her.
There's no way.
That's ridiculous. Stop asking dumb questions. You can't afford her.
Okay, so yes, everyone, please go see Romy and Michele the musical at Stage 42. Please go celebrate Jordan Kai Burnett as Heather Mooney at all characters that they play, because there are a multitude. I can't believe the quick changes you have. I hope someone gets to see a lipstick malfunction as well, which I'm sure will never happen again because once it happens once. But
Never
still,
happens again.
I pray that someone gets a chance to see it. And Jordan, it's playing at Stage 42. It's playing through who knows when. It really is dependent on your celebrating it and you're going to show up to see it.
That's right.
So please support them. Please go see it because this show deserves more life and to be seen by many. Especially with the sequel coming up, potentially. We don't know, but everyone's talking about it. Chitter chatter,
I think it's
rumors, rumors.
happening. Rumors. Let's pretend it is, even if it isn't.
Jordan, do you have anything you'd like to promote outside of that?
No.
Nothing. Go follow Jordan
On
at
Instagram.
JKAIB.
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram. That's fun.
Follow
Yeah, do that one.
Because Jordan's not promoting anything right now, but it's because Jordan has a lot of
Um,
things that could potentially happen that
yeah,
aren't for
I'm
sure yet. So if you follow
oh
Jordan,
yeah.
then you're gonna find out what cool next thing is
Well,
gonna be
I'm
coming.
doing Romy and Michele the musical in New York, so I don't have time to do anything else right
That's
now.
true.
Okay? Sorry.
Sorry, we already talked too much about what you're promoting.
It's true. It was the whole podcast.
It was the whole podcast. I don't even know what else to talk to you about because I like you so much and I love you. And it was so fun getting to be in New York with you. You're always
It
the
was
best.
great.
My favorite part is when we're trying to figure out what the next thing is to do, and I see your brain go into calculator mode. And you're like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, well, there's these trains that go there, or we could eat here, or take the A to the B, and then go
Oh, and
go
it's
to
always
32.
worse when we're both hungry.
Yeah. Oh, no. I just want a bagel.
I only want a snack.
Jordan, the Denise to my Patrick, the Romy to my Michelle.
Forever and ever, my love. I love you, kid. Congratulations on a great podcast.
I love you too. I love you. Everyone, please subscribe and review us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or like wherever you listen to podcasts, and go to YouTube and subscribe to us there and tell your friends about it. And I'm on Instagram and TikTok at Big Theater Kid Energy or at Muchos Garcias on Instagram. And please comment on things of whatever shows you think I should see next or segments you want to see on this show that we're doing. But thanks for listening all the way to the end. Jordan, you're a dream come true. Wave goodbye and bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.
We got big theater kid energy. Look out, we project, we sing out, Louise. Never mark it, always go full out. John Patrick Shanley never had a doubt. Our voices are warm, fan kicks are high. We've got perfect form. We say thank you, five. Grab your prop, charge all the glow tape. Curtains going up. 5, 6, 7, 8. We got big theater kids.